It's not anything crazy expensive, but back to how can we be visible and interactive, but not spend a bazillion dollars because we
Right,
don't have it.
right,
But
right.
but I also do it because that's my heart.
In this video, I speak with Eric Bam of Perfect Crust Liners. He's a person whose glass is not half full, it's overflown. He also discusses various marketing techniques, his book, and his philosophy on life. This video is presented by Grammarly, a wonderful writing tool I use every day. Links are below this video. As an affiliate, I will receive compensation if you purchase through my link. Here's Eric. Okay, Albert Grande here. I'm talking to Eric Bam from Perfect Crust Liners. And how are you doing today, Eric?
Man, I'm just happy to be here, Albert. Thank you for having me. I feel like a deja vu, like I've done this before, so it's awesome. Comfortable.
We have. Hey, tell me a little bit about Perfect Crust Liners. What's going on with them?
For people that haven't seen one, felt one, understand what they are, I think in life the simplest things are the best. And what this is, it goes in the pizza box and it's got bumps and dimples on it. The bumps lift the pizza up, allows the air to circulate, keeps the pizza really crispy. Dimples absorb all the grease and the moisture. They're perfect. They're biodegradable, compostable, and chemical free. And we're under about a little over 4 million pizzas a week right now. People don't realize that.
Okay, can't say that. 4 million a week. Well,
Correct.
that is a staggering number. And
Yep.
here in Hawaii, I've gotten Perfect Crust Liners many times when I've gotten pizza, and they
Yep.
really do a good job. I mean, people, all the professional people use them for a good reason because they do what they say they're going to do, which is fantastic.
Yep.
And also, let's say you've got some of the big names in pizza using them, right? Tony
Yep.
Gemignani, John Arena, lots of other, pizza chains as well use them.
Yeah.
So they're really good.
Yeah, what's cool about these, Albert, is that we're under what people perceive as very high-end, expensive pizza, like John Arena or Tony Gemignani's, the Slice House. But the reality is, we're under every pan pizza from Little Caesars that everyone considers inexpensive pizza, and everything in between. I think Carmine Testa, he coined the term "stop the flop." And we stopped floppy pizza. And so, yeah, we're under over 4 million pizzas a week right now and growing just every single year and having fun.
Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. How about, has there been any kind of international reach? I know that you're located in Oklahoma. Are we going international here with this?
We decided a couple of years ago we wanted to be international businessmen, right? It was kind of a joke, but we've huge growth in Canada this past year. That's not international, but it's not in the United States. Huge growth in Canada. We're in Puerto Rico, and we're in the UK. So we've got a distributor over there, and that piece of our business just continues to grow every single year.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow. More power to Perfect Crust Liners.
That's right.
Also, you're vice president of sales. You've done some kind of unusual marketing techniques. Can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, first of all, things that I know, you're a real presence at Pizza Expo. You do some really unusual things. Can you talk about that for a sec?
Well, see, what you find unusual, I find normal, right?
Okay.
So, but for us, every day when we get up, and I tell my guys this all the time, my goal is to be the most visible and the most interactive brand in the pizza community. I don't have a bazillion dollars in a marketing budget, so we find different ways to be out there, to be in front of people. One of the neatest things we've done the last several years, and I sent you one, is coffee mugs.
Yeah.
You probably have yours right there.
I got
probably
one right here. No, I got it right here.
There you go. So I love to, as I'm scrolling through social, if I find a really cool photo, and I know you're gonna tell a story behind that because I've heard it and it's awesome. But if I saw that photo and I thought, wow, that's really cool, and you post, someone commented, and you said, oh, it's my mom and my dad, and so I asked you for your address, put it on a mug, shipped it. You got it a couple weeks later. Didn't even know it was for me.
No,
and
I didn't.
And tell the story about that coffee mug.
The story is I lived in Giles County, Virginia, and this was many, many years ago. And my mom and dad came down to visit, and we lived in a place called Heartbreak Hotel, and we were on the front steps. It was a sunny May day. Mom and Dad, I had a couple of Groucho Marx noses and mustache company, would you wear these? And they said, sure, Albert, for you, anything. And
Love
so,
it.
there they are. It's just a
When
precious
and
kind of coat.
so when those mugs show up, most of the time, like I said, trying to find a very cool, unique photo. When that showed up at your house and you opened it, were you just like, "What in the world?"
Oh yeah, of course. Of course I was. I was shocked. I had no
Yeah,
idea where it came from. I asked my brothers. No, no, we didn't send it. Okay.
right.
And later I figured out that it came from you, which was a wonderful thing to do. A great, and you send out a lot of mugs to a lot of different people, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do about on average about one a week, and I will tell you, I'm gonna speak out of both sides of my mouth a little bit. Part of me, we do it from the standpoint that every time you pick up that mug, you're going to drink out of it. You're going to think about us, and you're going to think about Perfect Crust Pizza Liners,
Yep.
and 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 it costs $16. It's not anything crazy expensive, but back to how can we be visible and interactive, but not spend $1 bazillion because we
Right.
don't have it.
Right.
But
Right.
but I also do it because that's my heart,
Yes.
right? And
Sure.
I have a couple of coffee mugs that I drink out of that are my favorite. And I think there are times when you see a photo like that for you that you may say, "Man, I love this," but you won't take the time to put the little bit of effort into like putting in. But if we do it and you get it, you love it, it's a win for everyone. And
It's
and I think,
yeah.
for me, it's about it truly is about giving, and it's about giving with the right heart of not expecting anything in return.
Yep.
And because I believe it's a God thing. I think when you give with a heart of zero expectation, I think God gives it back to you tenfold.
Absolutely. When you give back, you get back.
Yeah,
And this is a form of guerrilla marketing, which I think is just incredible, um, because you're using the law of reciprocity, which
yeah,
is if I do something good for you, you are inclined to do something good for me. But
yeah.
you did it without any expectation. So let's get that out of the way too. There were
Yeah,
no uh,
we send coffee mugs to people that are cheese people, and not, you like, I mean, there's I don't you're not going to buy a Perfect Crust pizza liner, you're not going to buy a case, but I look at you as I call you the pizza historian, right? Like, I look at a guy like you, and I see the value in what you do in the pizza world, and then the photo pops up and I'm like, oh, this has got to go on a mug. Because I
sure.
my first reaction when I saw that photo, and I thought he's going to love this.
I did. Yeah, I do. I
That's
do.
what I thought. I thought
Yeah.
he's going to
Yeah.
love this. So for us, it's just one of the ways that we can help and be involved. And I talk to my guys too a lot about, look, the reality is, for a pizza operator, we're not in the top 10 of what they're concerned with. We're probably number 80. We do tend to rent mind space probably in the top 10 or 15, which is great, but we do it different ways. And one of the other things we talk a lot about is like, I want to be a guy that connects people. And so if I walk into you and hey, we're talking about Perfect Crust, but I say, hey, what else are you looking for? Well, I'm really
Right.
struggling with cheese. Well, I've got a cheese guy. Happened
Yeah.
to me 2 weeks ago. I'm in with an operator. He said, I'm really struggling with my box right now. I'm looking for this certain box. I know 2 box guys. Let's
Yep.
get them on the phone. And
Sure.
because having a heart to want to help people in sales, people that have servant hearts in sales will crush it all day long, whether they get something out of it or they don't. They
Sure.
want to help people, and
Sure.
that's just so big.
Yeah, no. As you said, you don't have billions like a large corporation that can throw stuff against the wall. You're
Right.
being very innovative with some of your marketing techniques. Hey, one of the
Yeah.
other techniques I want to talk about is that you send voice messages to people. I
Yeah.
got one and I thought, wow, this is kind of unique. Now, it wasn't like you called my phone and left a voice message. No, you texted a voice memo.
Yeah.
Is that something you use a lot of?
Yeah, I do it every day. I happen to have with me right here in my hand one of the things this is my fifth gold card, and what I do, I laminate it, and I on one side I have goals for what I want for my life and for me and for my wife, and the other side are things. If I do these things every day, the things that I want in my life, I get. And number one on here is pray with my wife. Number two is serve my wife, which, by the way, of all these is very much the open-ended one.
Yep.
That I find myself struggling with sometimes. Did I serve my wife today? Because she's the person I want to lift up the most,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
But I have 10,000 steps a day, so it helps me stay healthy. 64 ounces of water, write for 30 minutes a day, 1 hour of sample calls, which is a work thing, one video per day, whether I post that on Facebook or I DM that to prospects or LinkedIn or whatever. And the last one is 40 DMs a day. And so
wow.
What I do is I do that every morning. I walk into the office and I get on my phone, and I may have seen a great photo yesterday, or maybe it's your birthday, and I'm literally sending a voice message just saying, "Hey, Albert, hey man, I saw that photo yesterday, dude. That was awesome. I hope you have a great day. I love you, my friend. See you in Vegas."
Yeah.
And
I want to make a point here. What you're doing is so unique because it's not like you're phone calling and leaving a message, a recorded message. No.
Right.
You're using texting to send an audio message, a very personalized message. Boy, I got to start doing this myself. But what a fantastic way to market. What a way to connect with people. And you connect on a whole different level. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, just an amazing thing. I think that's fantastic.
Well, I do it either via text, or I'll do it via Facebook Instant Messenger, where you can send an audio. I'll do it Instagram, LinkedIn's the same way. You can send messages. And so I do 40 every day. I did 20 a day last year, and I've doubled down on it because the reaction to it is great. We live in a world where, like, look at me and you. I'm in Oklahoma and you're in Hawaii right now. We're having a conversation, but we live in a world where we have the greatest communication device in the history of the world right here. And yet we get a text and we're like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When you can send an audio message or a video message, and you can hear sarcasm, and you can hear laughter and joy or sadness, you can hear it all. You can feel it. A text is very one-dimensional, and sending a voice, man, just kicks it up.
No, it does. It's a whole nother modality of communication, which I think is very powerful. And it's marketing, and I'm going to call it guerrilla marketing, because you're thinking outside the box. This is not something everyone does. And as you and I know, one of the most important things in any marketing are relationships. And you're kind of cementing the relationships with people. You guys do a lot of, which I call different stuff at Pizza Expo. Talk about some of the things you've done there for
one of the things for us was when I got to Perfect Crust 6 years ago, was we wanted to expo different. And I don't want to be like all the other manufacturers that set up their booth and they're there from 10 to 4, and then they go and they have dinner and they go back and they do it the next day. So for us, it's being involved at Tony Gemignani's pre-party. And by that, what I mean we do is we have basically a red carpet, and we have a photographer taking photos of everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You got to say, and I've been on that red carpet, and as you go through, you're trying to go into Tony's got a huge Pizza Expo pre-party. Or, there are hundreds of people there. But as you're walking in, you're on a red carpet. Boom, there's a huge thing of Perfect Crust Liners. Let us take a shot. I felt like, oh man, the paparazzi are on.
Well, to talk about how can we be visible and interactive on a budget, what happens at that pre-party is when those photos get taken and the background has Pizza Rock and Perfect Crust pizza liners on it, what happens is 90% of those photos, you or someone else takes that photo and posts it on social media.
Yeah.
And so we're in the background. We're there. We're seen.
Yeah.
And so it's that. It's being very involved with the World Pizza Champions. It's having liners involved at every demo that's done throughout the day. It's all those little things, and it's being involved in events. The block party is a great example of an event that happens every year, where you have the finals of the acrobatics and all that stuff. Sure. I've gotten to judge at that twice, which has been awesome. But what's cool to me, I love hanging out with those people, with the pizza people. Those are my people. Those are your people. I love hanging out with them, and I love being around them. And what's interesting to me is to see the amount of manufacturers like us that are actually at the block party. And you know how many it is? It's none. They leave and they're gone. And
Oh, right.
that's where their customers are and their friends are and their prospects are, and they don't want to be there. And I will tell you, I love it because I love selling Perfect Crust pizza liners because I believe in the product. But I will tell you this, Albert, one of the things, I've been around enough pizza operators for the last 25 years that I love about pizza people is you go buy a pizza and you bring it home, but you don't see the heart and the love and the joy and the time and the effort and the thought that went into everything that happens in that pizza that goes in that box, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And I love it. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy the process of, why did you pick this? And why did you pick that? And what, and they'll tell you. But most consumers just go, well, I like this. This tastes good. But
Right.
man, I enjoy the story. I love seeing the hood get popped up and I get to see why
Yep.
I picked it.
Yep.
Love
Yep.
that.
That's fantastic. Hey, along with this, we're talking about your method of marketing. You also have a wonderful philosophy, which I certainly enjoy. You wrote a book.
Uh-huh.
Let's take a look at it.
There you go. Dreaming Again, a roadmap back to you, which I wrote. Really, if you read the forward, the intro, I wrote it really kind of as a memo to my children.
Right.
Right. This is the stuff it took me 40 years to figure out. And this book isn't long. If you listen to it on Audible, it's 45 minutes.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not big, but it's powerful, And for me, it took me a long time to figure out, the law of reciprocity, that what you give comes back. And if you give with the right heart, it comes back. And
absolutely.
It took me a long time to realize that I needed to have more of a thankful heart.
Wow.
Things like having a goal card. I have so many friends my age that after I wrote this and as I was, finishing it up and changing it and wordsmithing it and getting it better, that I realized this was powerful, not just for my kids, but for my friends. Because I have friends that are zombies that have given up on, what I want in my life and why I want it. And I can still go after things. One of the beautiful things about being an 18, 19-year-old kid is you're naive to the world, right? One of the worst things is you're naive to the world, but being naive to the world, like I want what I want and I'll figure it out. But we go through life and we become hardened to, well, I can't have that. I can't do that. And you've just stopped thinking about it. So here's my thing. I'm all about, like, if there's something you want for your life, write it down, talk about it, pray about it, tell your friends about it, follow people on social media that can help you get what you want and help you learn how to do it. And it's amazing when you do that, good things happen.
Yeah.
Great things come your way. You may not hit 100% of your goals, but if you hit half of them, that's a hell of a lot better off than you were if you didn't do any of it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Earl Nightingale, the secret, the most powerful secret.
Yep.
What you think about becomes reality. And, and I really believe that if you keep repeating it and ad nauseum, that it sends out a message out to the universe, and it sends out a message to yourself.
One of the things I wrote in here, Albert, and you just said it, is I hate the term fake it till you make it, because it's such a weird, like, fake it. But I believe be it till you see it. So if there's something you think you want in your life, or a better relationship with your spouse, or you want a car or a house, or you want whatever it is, you want to be a better scuba diver, whatever it is, be it. Be it until it comes to you.
Right.
And I think I believe that God, the universe, the divine, whatever you want to call it, that's out there, I believe that God plants things inside of us. And when they come out and we hear it here or we hear it here, we need to take action on that stuff. And I think if you don't take action on that stuff, I think you're just letting down something way bigger than you. And I will tell you, one of the things that I'm real big on is, 9 times I've gotten really good at listening to what's put on my heart, right?
Okay.
And I've learned that 9 times out of 10, maybe 95 times out of 100, those things aren't even necessarily for me. It could be, hey, you need to reach out to your buddy Greg and see what's up. It could be reach out to Joe and see what's up. And I think what happens is a lot of people, they'll hear it and they'll, I ain't got time for that today. And the reality is God didn't put that on your heart for you. It could be that Greg or Joe or you need to hear that today. Hey, Albert, you got this today. Have a great day, my friend.
Right.
That could be the one little thing that you needed to hear to get over the hump, and we blow it off. And the reality is someone else be blowing it off that same day that you need to hear that message.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
So I think listening to your heart and listening to your mind and what's put on you is a muscle that you can work out. And the more you listen to it is the more it comes, baby.
Absolutely.
And it's a blessing on people, you know?
Yep. No, again, Earl Nightingale said it, the strangest secret. If you haven't, I'm sure you're well familiar with that.
I love Earl Nightingale.
But again, what you think becomes reality, and it is very, very true. And I think that's fantastic. And and a lot of that obviously is in your book. It's a roadmap. Yeah. It's not a novel, but it is a roadmap of little snippets, a way to live the best life you can. And that's fantastic.
I'll tell you, I wrote this, like I said, I have a 27-year-old son, and then I have my daughter Elena will be 13 this month in March. And then my daughter Ruby will be 6 in March. And I'm 55, just turned double nickel. Couldn't wait to turn double nickel.
Go on the speed limit. Go on the speed limit, buddy.
Yeah, right. But I think about the fact that she's 6, and 20 years from now, she could be 25, 26 years old getting married. And the reality is, Albert, at 55, 20 years from now, I could not be here. And I do think about that. And so for me, it was an opportunity to write something that, hey, this is a love letter to you 3 knuckleheads, hopefully you take some of that and they apply it to their lives. And because it took me 40 years to learn to really have a life of gratitude and to put action into the things that I want. I don't sit around wishing and hoping, and because those aren't words that are going to bring anything to my life. So I don't wish and hope. I go and I do, and I write things down that I want, and I go chase them.
Right.
I go chase them. It's about gratitude and action.
Yep. So. Yep. All right, Eric. Thanks a lot. We did have a little misstep before, but hey, we hopped right on it. Good. Luckily everything worked out well. How could people find out more about Perfect Crust Liners and your book?
Perfect Crust Pizza Liners, perfectcrust.com. We love to send samples out. I say samples equal sales. And so if you want a sample pack, you want a case, whatever you want, I'll send it to you. So perfectcrust.com, super easy. I'm available on all social, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, everywhere, at the Eric Bam. I'm not on MySpace anymore. I'm sorry. I don't think it's even there. But I do want to, if I can, if you'll humor me and let me just throw something out that's been on my mind lately, because I think a lot of people need to hear it, is I think a lot of people use social media wrong, and they use it to gripe and complain and be hateful in comments. And, raise your hand if you had a Nana or a grandmother that had a coffee table that had photo albums on it. And those photo albums never had negative stuff. There was not a picture of Uncle Albert when he lost his big toe to diabetes. Right. They were happy stuff. I want to see my friends' wins. I want to see their happiness. I want to see their joy. I want to see everything great they've got going on in their lives, because I'm rooting for my friends. If someone is not rooting for you, they're not your friend. Get them out of your life. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I want to see your family. I want to see great stuff. I want to see the mundane. I want to see what you had for dinner. I want you to post it. Because the reality is that digital footprint is there forever. What you and I are doing right now, God love you for doing this stuff, Albert, it is there forever. And I know you don't post a lot on social, but this stuff that you do is here forever. And your grandkids and your great grandkids will be like, hey, that was great Uncle Albert. That was great Grandpa Albert. And, and you get to see it, and you get to see you and facial expressions and happiness and joy. And people have got to look at their social, and they've got to change what they're doing, because This happens a lot. We take 5 million pictures on our phones, and then we
Yep.
pass away, and all that's gone.
Yep. Yep.
Gone. So use social to your advantage. And if somebody doesn't like what you're doing with it, tell them to kiss off, because this is your online digital footprint that's there forever.
All right.
And I'm off my soapbox now.
All right. No, yet stand up. But Eric, I love your philosophy on life. I love who you are as a person. You're a very genuine, compassionate guy, who markets in a genuinely compassionate way, taking care of relationships. So thanks a lot for spending time with me, Eric. I'll put all links below this video. And thank you. Take care.